This video is brought to you by the EA Creator Network. Hello again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. Happy Friday. I hope you're all having the most amazing day ever so far and thank you so much for joining me here today. Very exciting speed build today. This is my first build in the new world that's just shipped with our brand new expansion pack, The Sims 4 Growing Together. We are building in San Sequoia and we are building, I hope I pronounced that right, fingers crossed I did. Anyway, we're building a little family house which has 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom and an open plan living kitchen area. And I'm gonna be really honest with you all, because I always am. This is my 5th attempt at a house in this world, and it's not because the world isn't gorgeous, because it is. It's not because the lighting's not fine, because the lighting's great. It's me. I really struggled with this sort of craftsman style type of house, so I had to do a lot of research through Google Images and Pinterest and things like that, and I sort of ended up looking at so many different kinds of images. I ended up doing like a mashup of a couple of different ones, so I didn't really work from one reference image. Usually I would put one on the screen for you to have a look at so that you can see sort of what I was working towards, but with this one I kind of went with the flow. I also really like this because the lot sizes are quite strange in that we have a lot of 30 by 20 size lots. We don't have a 20 by 15, which I always found strange because I always assumed that a starter house would be on a 20 by 15 lot, but this is a 30 by 20. But as you may have noticed, in most of the worlds that we have, the 30 by 20 lots are usually the other way around. So they're the width is much shorter than the length usually. Now with San Sequoia, from what I've noticed, it's the other way around. So the widest part of the lot is on the front and then it goes back. So I did struggle a little bit with that because with back gardens, it's much more difficult to fit them in. So what I ended up doing is creating a side garden with a tree house, which we can talk about in just a moment when I pull it from the build catalogue. And I did have a chance to play around with it a little bit, which I think is a fantastic item, and it's just something that we've been really needing in The Sims 4. But anyway, I digress. Here it is, there's the treehouse. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. And there's a swing set, there's some seating areas, there's a barbecue. So it was just really important for me to have that outdoor space so that your Sim families can spend a lot of time together in this house. This house is not big. It's not big at all. I attempted a rather large house and for some reason I just couldn't make it work. So I ended up doing a house for me which for me is slightly on the smaller side. I usually go for much bigger family houses, so it was really interesting for me to tackle something like this and I really enjoyed it. The showstopper for me is definitely the interior. I love the exterior, I genuinely do, but the interior for me is just, it's so lovely, it's so full of character, it's colourful, there's a real story behind it, but we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get on the inside. But we are currently working on the landscaping. I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room because I know on my Twitter I announced that I was going to do a base game and growing together only build for my first build, and believe me, I really tried, but because it's not a style I'm too comfortable with, I decided for my first build to do a non-restricted pack build. So for the next build, I might do I'm going to do a restricted build at some point. I just don't know when that's going to be. I do have another build in the pipeline, which I can't really announce yet because it's all a little bit hush-hush. Anyway, I'll be able to talk a little bit more about it, hopefully later on this week or early next week. But anyway, so the exterior is going together really nicely. I also decided to add this part on the back here because the inside was looking just a little bit too small. This actually ends up being the twin room. So in my head there were 5 Sims living in this house. So we have the parents, we have twin daughters in my head, and then like an infant child. So it's a little bit of a squeeze. Obviously the family will either have to, at some point they'll have to sort of extend the house or they'll have to move, but that does tie really nicely into the storyline that I've got going on for this family, and I would absolutely love to create a family for this house and play it out a little bit. I am doing a let's play with the new pack at some point. I just need to get the Sims created. I've already got the backstory that I want to go for, but if we get any scenarios, for example, through like the new pack, I'd definitely like to explore in this house, because there's something really, really cute, cozy and warm about it, and I'm obsessed. And I know that sounds a little bit self-serving given that I obviously built this house, but anyway. The exterior didn't take me too long to do. I tweaked a few things off camera, but we do end up moving onto the inside. As you can see, it is a bungalow. I don't normally do bungalows in The Sims 4, but I just felt like I needed to. I wanted I don't want to say I wanted to whip up something real quick, because that's not what I mean at all, because I put a lot of time and effort into this build, but I just didn't have the energy to build like a massive generations family home. Don't you worry, it will be coming. It's just that I need to spend a few days on it. I've got another project that I need to be working on this weekend, so I'm thinking next week is probably when we'll start to sort of have a look at slightly larger houses. But this is really, really cute. It's really sweet. So this is the living space here. As you can see, as I was mentioning at the beginning, it's all open plan, but I tried to use as many of the new items as possible, because I really just wanted to try and showcase them and see how they would work and sort of how they would fit into my style of decorating. And can I just say, I absolutely love, bar a few, there's a few items that are a little bit questionable, but that's to be expected. I wouldn't expect me to like every single item that comes with a pack. Like, that's just not realistic. But most of the items, I'd say 95% of them, I adore. I love the fact that there's no real theme. There's no, like, they're not modern, they're not classic, they're not old school, they're not cottagey. It's kind of a mishmash of all these different styles, and I think that fits so perfectly with this pack, because if you are building like generations family homes or just like traditional family homes, I think a lot of people, don't necessarily keep to like a specific style inside their homes. Some people do, some people don't. I just think, like, for this particular pack, I think a mashup of different styles of items fits really, really well. You'll have to let me know what you think. The beauty is we can all have our own opinion. Anyway, this is the little kitchen area here. I do end up using counters from the Dream Home Decorator pack, because I thought the colour of them just worked really, really well with the rest of the colour scheme we've got going on in the house. So I'm really, really, really happy with how this came out. I'm so pleased that the new items from the new pack integrate themselves so well with items that we already have in game, either with the base game or like Dream Home Decorator, for example, or Tiny Living or Parenthood. They just fit so well. Okay, and this little flower piece that's on the island here, oh my gosh, that is definitely my new favorite, like, little flower piece. I love that so much. We also got a lot of items like, kids' drawings to put on the wall, and just kids clutter. I talk about this all the time on the channel, but I love kids clutter because I love decorating kids' rooms. I'm probably gonna do like some nursery speed builds, some kids' room speed builds and stuff like that over the next few days as well, so that I can showcase a little bit more some of the items specifically for those rooms. But you'll have to let me know if there's any videos that you want to see on the channel. Drop me some comments down below, give me some ideas. I do want to do some renovation work on some of the houses that shipped with the pack. As beautiful as the houses are, obviously the creators that made them, they are restricted with the item count and things like that. So I'd like to try and renovate some of the lots too. I've got a lot of ideas bouncing around. I'm buzzed. I'm absolutely buzzed. I'm so excited for this pack, and yeah, I haven't felt this way for a long time. So anyway, yes. Okay, and then this is when I start to pull out a lot of like the decor clutter items, because this family they're so close, and because the house isn't very big, it's inevitable that the kids' stuff's going to start creeping into other areas of the house. So I wanted to just make it very apparent that I don't want to say the kids rule the house, because I don't think that's the situation at all. I just think the parents are like, yeah, as long as you have fun, you can make as much mess as you want. So that's the kind of storyline that I wanted to do with this particular house. There's a lot of picture frames around that you can fill with obviously pictures of your Sims families. This wall mural here is It has my entire heart, body and soul. I absolutely love it. I think it's so cute. This is the one and only bathroom. I thought because it's the only bathroom in the build, I thought it'd be better if I made it a little bit bigger. So we do have a shower tub combination here. Obviously there's a toilet and a sink. The shower tub combination and the sink are brand new with the pack, along with this mirror and the little towel here. And then the little potty just on the right hand side of the door there. That's also new. It mentions something about toddlers and then infants, and I think it, like, a lot of the items work with toddlers and infants, which I think is really, really cool. This is the main bedroom, so this is mum and dad's room, or the parents' room, whatever dynamic you've got going on in this house. And I tried to again use as many items from Growing Together. Is the pack called Growing Together? It is, isn't it? The Sims 4 Growing Together. Right, okay. I feel like I'm going to be getting that mixed up with something else, and I'm not entirely sure what that is. But anyway, this is a big room. Now, I decided to make this room slightly bigger because what I end up doing in here is I end up... the thought process was that the other room is for the twin girls who are children. They're like child age, and then the parents, they've had an unexpected surprise and they have their third child in here with them. So there's like a little infant like cot in here, and like I said, the family is gonna very quickly outgrow this house. But this is, I would say, quite normal for families, you know, who maybe don't have a lot of money or don't have a lot of space, or maybe they don't want a bigger house. So this is here. This is where the infant's going to be going. They go in the corner here, and so there's multiple different options you could do with this house. You could extend upwards, so you could build like an upper floor. You could extend to the side if you wanted to give them their own room. You could try and cram them in their sister's room if you wanted to. I don't know sort of what your style of gameplay is or what you want to do with that, but yeah, that was my sort of thought process. I haven't future-proofed this house at all. I was just thinking about the here and now, but I kind of liked doing that because it's not very often that I do it, so I hope you don't mind. And then these little owl decors, like, oh my gosh, some of the items from this pack are just, my heart started to hurt because they were so cute. And then these bunk beds are new with the pack as well, which I thought were really just sweet, cute. I love them so much. I ended up using them in this really fun purple swatch, and then it took me so long to find this llama from the base game update, but I knew that I had to put that in here. Like, I just had to, because I didn't put it in my last build where I did like an apartment for a mum and her twin infants, and I remember kicking myself afterwards, and I was like, oh no, why did I not find the llama? So I made sure to pull it out for this build. But this room's very turquoisey, it's very pinky, purpley, it's really cute, and I had a lot of fun with this colour scheme. I was initially thinking that we could put like a sleeping bag out here, and then I very quickly removed that because I'm thinking it's not the biggest room in the world and I didn't want it to look too cramped. So I ended up pulling that out there. I don't really know how they work in terms of gameplay, but yeah, your Sims can now have sleepovers, which is super cute. But that is pretty much it for this build. I really hope you enjoyed this because I had a lot of fun creating this. But you can, if you'd like to, download this house from the gallery. My origin ID, I almost forgot what I was saying there. My origin ID is RachelPedd. Tray files, as always, are linked down in the description box below. You can get them for free from Sim File Share. But I just want to thank you all so much for joining me here today. I can't wait to explore this pack a little bit more. I can't wait to do some more building. But you all take care, and I will see you next time I post a video. Bye!